Welcome back to Access Channel Comics. Today, we review some things that's been going on in the past week, with a lot of big exciting news. For one, there's news about the new Logan trailer from Fox. Also, a new teaser trailer has dropped from Marvel Studios regarding Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Also, Warner Brothers DC Comics does move further with their plan with the Batman in the DC Extended Universe. And we review over the CW DC television universe Arrow. Now, let's start off with the Logan trailer. The Logan trailer dropped this week, and I must say, I was very impressed with the trailer. Now, things are to be said with this franchise. This is the third and final entry for Hugh Jackman playing the character Wolverine, also known as Logan. The movie is entitled Logan. I really like the title of the movie, Logan, because that is Wolverine's other name, but also it makes a statement to where they're keeping things simple. Back in 2007, I remember learning that the next title Batman movie would be called simply The Dark Knight. It was the first time a Batman movie had been used without Batman's name. And The Dark Knight is very presentable for a title. Now, this is on a different scale, but I do like the fact that it's called Logan. And there's something about Wolverine's alias name that helps bring out a representable title. Now, the mainstream will even get to know this even more now. Many people just know him as Wolverine in the mainstream audience, but they will also get to know him as Logan. Now, with this, it was a very impressive trailer. We do get to see that this is definitely a rated R movie. We've seen the scene where Wolverine, the adamantium, strikes through the guy's head. That was definitely a rated R scene. And I think this is something that Wolverine does need. I just think that it's a little bit of a downer. They didn't really recognize that until the Deadpool movie. But hey, better late than never. Because let's face it, the Deadpool movie did have a big impact on showing that rated R movies can do pretty well at the box office. Now, with Wolverine, I think this movie will be striking very well. I myself wasn't really a huge fan of Wolverine X-Men Origins. I don't want to make that sound like a cliche because a lot of people were not. I just wasn't really on a scale. I wanted a little bit more that really made me feel, that's Wolverine. But I did like the Wolverine, the follow-up movie. Some people had the gripes about towards the ending of the movie, but I really liked the movie all the way through. I really think it was a good character study of Wolverine, but I think this will be an even bigger, deeper character study of the character now that Logan is coming out. We did see in the trailer that we get to see Donald Pierce, a guy who's basically a cyborg. The only thing pretty much human left on him in his body is his head. He is also a guy who's been part of the Hellfire Club, one of the main members. He is also a guy who we got to see in the trailer, the Reefers, an organization that he claimed to have built and constructed. They're like the next wave of a superior race, because mutants have died out. Human beings have not really looked at as a superior race, but the Reefers are. We do get to see them in the trailer, and they are also in the comic books as well. We got to learn in this movie that Patrick Stewart's Professor Xavier is going through Alzheimer's, and also Logan is going through some pain where he's drinking alcohol more and taking painkillers to get through the day, because his health is kind of failing him. His healing factor is very much slowing down, so his healing rate is almost at a human level. We do find out that the little girl is in fact a clone of Wolverine, possibly X-23 coming up in the future. So I'm looking very excited to this movie. One of the main things that got me very excited is the point that Mr. Sinister has a lot to do with this film. So even if it's not an overall take that he has to do with this film, it's leading up to some more future X-Men movies. I just think Mr. Sinister is a great villain to use cinematically, even more so than Apocalypse, because Mr. Sinister you can build up and makes a couple of I think really good movies as far as a standalone Wolverine movie and X-Men films. So what did you guys think about the trailer this week? Just put your comments at the bottom and we'll go from there. Now moving on to the Guardians of the Galaxy teaser. I really pretty much enjoyed this Guardians of the Galaxy teaser. I liked some of the elements they left from the first movie with the soundtrack. We also get to see some pretty cool things such as Drax, a special moment between Drax and Star-Lord. And Drax, of course, is pretty much going to keep it, real. And it's not that he's just saying, hey, I'm a realist. It's just the point that's the only way he pretty much knows how to speak with some of the comments he made in the trailer, just like he did in the first one, when he made him towards Aurora. So that is pretty cool. Now, moving along further in the teaser, we do get to see a cool scene where Rocket Raccoon and Yondu is walking. So I just look very forward to this movie also. I really was blown away by the first Guardians of the Galaxy. I was just like a lot of people, didn't really know a lot about them, but I did some study up on them before I first saw the first movie, and I enjoyed it. And I know a little bit more about them now than a lot of people do, at least from a mainstream standpoint. But what did you think about the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer? Didn't get to see a Kurt Russell type of thing just yet, but I believe they're saving him for later on, which is very wise. Still got a while before the movie coming out. And so this will be very interesting, and I look forward to see where they go farther with that in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What did you think about the trailer? Put your comments at the bottom. And that brings us to the DC side of things. Ben Affleck has been on a couple of interviews promoting his movie, The Accountant, which is doing fairly well. And of course, the discussion comes up about Batman. It's a title movie called The Batman, as we found out not too long ago. This is another title I love. I love simple movie titles. I don't mind long titles sometimes, but people talk about movies. People want to be able to come out and just say the name, and The Batman is something that is extraordinary. We've had Batman before. We've had The Dark Knight, but now they're calling it The Batman. He was even referenced a lot of time as the Batman in the Dark Knight trilogy. And of course, this is one of his original names. But the Batman, Ben Affleck did go on notice of saying, like, hey, the script hasn't been approved yet. He's letting people know not to worry. Movies, and also, he is right, don't worry, because movie studios do go through this. Even though it's a big character, even though it's trusted people making it, they got to go through the script, make sure it's approved. I'm glad that they're taking the time to make it right. Joe Manganiello did say that they will probably start shooting in spring of 2017. If they start doing that, that definitely could have them ready for October 2018 release. I would love for it to come out around October. I've always known Batman movies come out around June or July. When Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice came out, that was in March, so that was kind of a little different thing. But in October, that's a great time of year. That's Halloween season. Batman is a great, terrifying character, so that would definitely be a great approach. And probably when the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital download comes out, even though I'm speaking too far ahead of time, they're probably around maybe December, maybe January, February, the latest. But nice holiday or after holiday gift. But I look very forward to this too and seeing where they take this. They're talking about a lot of things because Ben Affleck does say he wanted this to be the definitive Batman movie, and I don't blame him because he's the filmmaker. He really enjoys the Dark Knight trilogy, and it's not that he's trying to have a contest with that, but of course you're supposed to want to make your movies better. And to date, the Dark Knight still is the definitive Batman movie, but the Batman is something that could go in the ranks of it. They're talking about having a lot of his Rogues Gallery villains in it, and Batman has the greatest Rogues Gallery villains of all time. Bottom line, I would say Spider-Man comes in a close second, but I would say Batman definitely has the top Rogues Gallery. I was taking a look at Gotham this week, even though it's on a different level. They had so many of his villains up there: the Penguin, the Riddler, Victor Says, Poison Ivy, Catwoman, even though sometimes she's an ally, the Mad Hatter. It was just going back and across the room for the board, and I was just like, wow, Batman has his villains just really stand out, even on Gotham. And that's just not to say that Gotham is on the lower scale. It's just that on a different level. So a universe where Batman doesn't exist, at least not yet. Bruce Wayne is there, but and I can imagine the movie. And the main villain is going to be Deathstroke, and I like that also. So this, you got to think about it. The Batman right now is most certainly the most talked about movie that hasn't even been made yet. Possibly of all time. There have been some movies sometimes come out in the past where before they were even made, before even big development, people were already talking huge about it. Just think about it, people. When they did the teaser for Deathstroke, when Ben Affleck put that up on his Twitter account, how huge that news broke. We're talking about the Batman that hasn't even really gone into film yet. Think about how huge it's going to be once it starts going to production and once the first teaser trailer is released when the movie is out. That's going to be a huge scale, and we all know Batman sells. He was definitely one of the biggest highlights of BVS. So look very forward to that. Batman, of course, is my favorite superhero of all time, along with Superman. Those two always tie at my number one. But anyway, put your comments at the bottom. Even put who your favorite superhero or superheroes are, and let me know what you think about the Batman and everything that's going on with that. Now, that brings us to our final piece today, where we're going to talk about it's another side of the DC universe, and that's in the CW, and that is Arrow. I would like to first to say foremost, welcome back, Arrow. And the reason why I'm saying that is this. Now, Arrow this is his third episode into the new season, the fifth season. Arrow's been out for a while, but the reason why I say welcome back, Arrow, because Arrow has now reached that level where it was from season 1 to season 2. Don't get me wrong, we still got a ways to go in this season. We've got the big crossover events coming up. Arrow's approaching its 100th episode. But this past week, the last 3 episodes of Arrow have really been done well, have really been written well. Hey, I get it. I understand it. When a show has been out for a while, sometimes it's going to have its wane seasons where it could be a good show, it could be a great show, but some seasons are going to be like, man, understand sometimes, even if they make some of the wrong decisions, these shows, they go on and have a longevity scale. Sometimes they try to do different things and make changes. I understand and applaud for that, because you don't want to bore a character out. As great as certain things are, for example, a friend of mine was having a conversation about the old medical drama ER. I'm a huge ER fan, a lot of people are. But as great as the original cast was, if you would have kept them around for every season, the show probably wouldn't have went on as long as it did, because it wouldn't have been as believable. I'm not saying the characters wouldn't have been great. It just wouldn't have been believable. That's why Arrow and them has switched up in things too. But what I like about this is they definitely do take elements from the Batman comic books. Understandable. If you take a look at the Flash, everybody knows who the Flash is. But Green Arrow is a character who got a very well-known, huge fan base. However, a lot of people don't know about his stories. But my recommendation to pick up some of the new Rebirth comics. Also pick up his classic tales such as the Lombard Hunters. Green Arrow's a phenomenal character. We even got to see that on Justice League Unlimited. And Bruce Timm said himself, the fan mail came pouring in for him to when are you going to have Green Arrow on the show? And they was able to do that with Justice League Unlimited. He's the 8th member of the Justice League in the mythology when he came in. And even in the new DC 52, they were trying to put him in. But what I enjoy about the show is there are many elements of Batman. Now, Green Arrow is not showing that he's as great as leader as Batman or greatest teacher, but he's starting to come around. And, understand where Oliver comes from at times. He gets ill because he doesn't want to see anyone hurt. It's not he's afraid of anyone surpassing him, but he's seen people get hurt, people close to him. We see that in flashbacks and everything. He doesn't want to put anyone else in danger. But Felicity is right. Also, Mr. Terrific. Now I'm calling him, go ahead and call him Mr. Terrific. He was right. Oliver really had to learn how to trust people. We was in season 3 when Katana told him, you really have to learn and let people help you. Felicity said it also. And that's a very huge thing. That's what he's learning to do. And I really like the team that's put together. It's organic the way this team is being put together. It's not to the point of people just saying, hey, I want to be a vigilante or a superhero. They have that kind of calling for it. If you take a look at Curtis, I really love the design of the Mr. Terrific costume. Mr. Terrific, always one of my favorites. Had a shout out to one of the past Mr. Terrifics, Terry Sloan. It was great how they had the Easter egg in there. The face paint, the way he had the hair drawn back and everything. Because I was wondering how they was going to do his hair. Were they going to leave it out like they did? Which I'm glad they didn't, because people would know it would be him. I like the way they have it tied back. I was wondering if he was going to get a hair cut down. It's a cool look. The flare play jacket. I used to love seeing that flare play jacket when I was a kid. When I used to see Mr. Terrific in the comic books. And even I like in the episode how Ragman got on the comedy level where he commented on the face paint. And they had like a conversation in between. And Artemis was like, these guys serious. It was just really cool, the writing on that this week. I really love the way they portrayed Ragman, because when he's not his Ragman persona, he reminds me so much of Barry Allen. If you would put him and Barry beside each other, people would think these guys are probably brothers. But I really love that persona. And of course, Felicity broke the news to, him that it was her fault that many of the people he cared about was lost. We don't know how exactly how he's going to continue with, because he walked off. He was really, I think he was hurt and shot at the same time. But I like Ragman as a character. I think the cool thing about him is he's another one of the ones. He's totally different in the suit. He strikes fear. I mean, with the rags there, they had all the souls in them. It's something great about characters like that. That's what I like about the Katana character, like in Suicide Squad. That's why I can't wait to see the extended edition of that, to see maybe they give her more some play in that. You know, having the souls like Ghost Rider, how they're doing him, or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There's something about those characters that strikes fear from a, sometimes just as a human level standpoint, like Batman and Green Arrow, and then you have your supernatural standpoint where they strike fear. So I really enjoyed that. We did get to see Wild Dog, how basically how he and Oliver, of course, kept butting heads, and that's when, understandably, the way Arrow felt, but at the same time, Felicity was right again. You have to learn how to trust him, because it's not that let Wild Dog let him off his leash or whatever. It's just the point he really knew how to find this guy. Although that did occur in Samson kind of becoming undead, I really think Cody Rhodes, they give him credit on the show as Cody Reynolds, really portrayed his character well. I enjoy Cody Rhodes. He's one of my favorites in wrestling. He's over in TNA now, formerly WWE. I hope he has a very good run over there. Enjoyed his father's work and his brother's work throughout his career. But he played a very convincing villain. He's definitely going to give people a run for his money. We did see at the end where Arrow broke him down in the areas where a human body can be broken down at. He can't feel the pain, but he's still going to need his body, just as Arrow said. So I hope that he's a character that will come back, because he wants to give Church, Chad Coben's character, a run for his money and take him out in there. But big surprise this week, Prometheus did not show up in the episode, and I actually liked that they did not have him show up in the episode. In the first two episodes, he showed up at the end. Small cameo appearances, which were very well done. And this one, I'm glad they didn't continue that, because you don't want to do it every week. Let there be a build-up and then be like, okay, where is he at? That's one of the things I like about what Marvel does with Thanos. It's been a huge build for Thanos. But even though Thanos, they had those cool cameo appearances of him, he did have some more play in Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. I like the fact that sometimes they don't show him. So that's a cool thing about the Prometheus character. Later on, Green Arrow will meet up. He and Prometheus probably will go blow to blows. Keep in mind, too, at this point, Oliver doesn't even know Prometheus is there. Green Arrow doesn't even know. And just like him, we probably don't know we don't know who he is, but who do you think Prometheus is? Put your comments at the bottom. Do you think it's Tommy? Do you think it's Felicity's new boyfriend? Do you think it's the new guy who just joined Oliver Queen's team and introduced himself in his office? Who do you think it is? Now, when I said Tommy, there's been speculation that Tommy could possibly be back. That would be a huge blower. Do you think it would be, what I mean by huge blower is that would blow people out the water, like, wow, how did they do this? Do you think it's Dolph Lundgren's character coming up? It depends on Dolph Lundgren's character, because he's going to be more in the flashback, the Russian scenes, a la Drago from Rocky IV. But that'll be very interesting. So what do you think about that? And what do you think about this week's episode of Arrow? Love the classic scene when the team rolled out after they got through with the mission, and how they was walking away, and how Wild Dog jumped off the thing and got out of there, and how Arrow was the last one to leave out, and the fireworks went from behind. You remember there was a time years ago, and by every movie, everyone was doing that. I remember the Dark Knight, they did it when the Joker was leaving out, explosion happened. I remember Wolverine, the first Wolverine movie, they did that. It was great to see something like that again. This time it's behind the Green Arrow. I love Green Arrow's suit this season. It's a mixture of his original suit mixed in with what he wore last season. The short sleeves were cool. I really like that because homage to the comic book, but it's something about Green Arrow being in those long sleeves. It's just so cool about that. So I'm a huge Arrow fan. I never gave up on the show. I enjoyed season 1 when it first came out. Some people are like, I think they should have went with the guy from Smallville. Hey, I love Justin Hartley. But I understood why they was going with a different guy. In this case, Stephen Amell. This is a different kind of type universe. It became a big hit. People enjoyed it. I was like, hey, man, I told you it's going to be good. Season 2, the best season still, arguably. Season 3 and Season 4, went a different direction. I even admit that. But this season already is winning people back, and it's yet to remain to be seen if everyone will be coming back. But I really enjoyed it. So again, put your comments at the bottom about all the news this week. There's so much more news coming out, and we're going to catch up on it. Also, click the subscribe button to Access Channel Comics, where new episodes are loaded up on every Saturday. Got more stuff coming at you. So I just want to let you know that. And remember, Access Channel Comics, we encourage you to be good to yourself and be good to others. Make sure you check out and make sure Access Channel Comics, go to Facebook and check us out. You can also follow me on Twitter, as you see at the link below and everything. So just check everything out. Look forward to seeing you again. And remember, at Access Channel Comics, we acknowledge there are many, there are few, but there are none truly like you. Peace.